Is your work just a series of tasks you must get through? A long stretch of hours endured for a paycheck at the end of the week? Or could it be something more, something that fills you up rather than drains you out? For many of us, the daily grind feels exactly like that. A grind. Waking, working, eating, sleeping with little room for joy or meaning in the hours spent on the job. We often feel that our true lives begin only after we clock out, as if our work is a necessary but ultimately hollow interruption to what really matters. In 12 minutes, 3 ways to work with excellence and a daily ritual to honor your work. At the heart of this transformative idea lies a single powerful directive from the ancient scriptures. It's a short verse, easily memorized, yet its implications can reshape how we view work. The Apostle Paul, writing to Colossae, offered this instruction: "Whatever you do, work heartily, as for the Lord and not for men." Colossians 3:23. This command cuts through cultural baggage about holy versus secular work. It levels the playing field. No hierarchy of spiritual significance in our jobs. Let's break it down. Whatever you do is breathtakingly inclusive. No exceptions. It doesn't say, as long as it's in full-time ministry. It doesn't say, as long as you find it fulfilling. It covers every task, mundane to magnificent. Cleaning a toilet, drafting a legal brief, driving a delivery truck, designing a skyscraper. The task matters less than the posture of the heart doing it. This dissolves the wall between sacred and secular. God invited into our work. Work heartily speaks to quality and energy. The Greek implies working from the soul, diligence, enthusiasm, wholeheartedness, not going through the motions or doing the bare minimum. It calls for engagement and excellence from an internal wellspring, not external pressure. This isn't about becoming a workaholic or striving for perfectionism. Rather, offer your best effort, your full presence, your focused energy as a gift, regardless of immediate reward or recognition. Finally, the verse names the ultimate audience, as for the Lord and not for men. This shifts orientation. Work is also for employers, clients, customers, but look beyond them to a higher authority. Our primary boss is God. This reframes everything. Manager approval becomes secondary. Paycheck size is practical, but not the sole measure. True measure: faithfulness, integrity, excellence offered to God. Despite the profound spiritual potential embedded in our work, the reality for most people is far different. A pervasive sense of exhaustion, boredom, and meaninglessness hangs over the modern workplace. Many people feel drained by their jobs, counting down the minutes until quitting time and living for the weekends. This isn't just a matter of having a bad day. It's a chronic condition, a deep-seated feeling that our professional lives are a void. The primary reason for this widespread malaise is a fundamental disconnection from purpose. When our daily tasks feel like isolated, repetitive actions, with no connection to a larger, meaningful narrative, our spirits begin to wither. This disconnection happens for a few clear and simple reasons. First, tasks that feel small, insignificant, or even pointless in the grand scheme of things. Answering the 10th customer complaint of the day. Filing yet another stack of paperwork. Attending a meeting that could have been an email. These activities rarely feel like they are changing the world. When we can't see how our small cog fits into a larger functioning machine that produces something good, the work becomes abstract and demoralizing. We were created for purpose, and when our work lacks an obvious connection to positive human impact, it feels like a waste of our precious time and energy. Second, the modern economy often forces us into a state of perpetual rush. Efficiency and productivity are the reigning deities of the corporate world, and we are constantly pressured to do more in less time. This relentless pace leaves no room for care, thoughtfulness, or craftsmanship. The first step in transforming your work into an act of worship is deceptively simple. Intentionally create a small margin for care in every task you perform. This is not about adding more work or chasing perfection. It's a conscious choice to slow down for a brief moment. Infuse your actions with thoughtfulness, excellence, and respect. Find a small pocket of time, maybe just a few seconds, to do something slightly better than good enough. This practice is a quiet rebellion against the tyranny of rush. It's a way to honor the people and the materials involved in your work. Barista. Take 5 extra seconds to wipe the counter. Barista. Present the coffee with a genuine smile and direct eye contact. Office worker. Reread the email one last time. Office worker. Add a brief, personalized closing. Teacher. Write a short, encouraging note on a student's assignment. Nurse. Take 1 extra calming breath before entering a patient's room. These acts aren't meant to win awards. Their primary purpose is to change you, the worker. Consistently add a small margin of care and you retrain your heart and mind. You begin to see work not as obligations to dispatch, but as opportunities to offer a gift. This elevates the task from a transaction to a relational act. It demonstrates respect for the recipient, the customer. It demonstrates respect for the colleague. It demonstrates respect for the patient. Over time, this habit compounds. What starts conscious and awkward becomes natural. Your work will bear a subtle signature of excellence and kindness. The second powerful reframe is to see your work, regardless of its nature, as a craft to be honed. A craft is any work approached with a commitment to skill quality. Continuous improvement. A craftsperson is not content with mediocrity. They take personal pride in the process and the final product. Not just artisans like woodworkers, potters. A call center representative can be a craftsperson in the art of communication. A janitor can be a craftsperson in creating clean, orderly spaces. You stop seeing your job as just a role you fill and start seeing it as a skill you can develop and master. This shift changes your relationship with daily tasks. Instead of passively performing, you begin to actively engage, asking, how can I do this more effectively? What small detail could I improve? Is there a better tool or technique I could learn? This mindset fosters lifelong learning and curiosity. It pushes you to notice the nuances of your work and to find satisfaction in the process, not only the outcome. The third and final reframe involves setting small, purpose-driven goals that connect your daily tasks to a larger, more meaningful mission. This practice directly combats the feeling of disconnection that drains so many of us at work. When a task feels isolated and pointless, it's easy to lose motivation. But framed as a crucial step toward a worthy objective, the task gains a new sense of significance and direction. Not large, impersonal corporate objectives. Instead, small, personal goals tied to human impact. Make them simple, clear, achievable in a day or a week. Instead of be better at customer service, try. Today, I will make a genuine effort to make at least 2 customers smile. For a manager. This week, I will write 1 specific, encouraging note of thanks to a member of my team. For a software developer. On this project, I will write code that's functional and easy for colleagues to understand and maintain. These goals anchor your work in human connection and service. Link a mundane task to one of these goals and it transforms. Answering a difficult phone call becomes an opportunity to practice empathy. Tidying a shared workspace becomes an act of service to colleagues. This practice helps you answer the why behind your work. Why are you doing this? To make someone's day a little brighter. To make your team a little stronger. To create something of lasting quality that serves others. Reframes are powerful, but they can be difficult to maintain in the heat of a busy day. To solidify these new mindsets, it's essential to anchor them in a consistent, repeatable practice. Rituals are powerful tools for shaping our hearts and minds. They create a deliberate pause, a sacred space in time where we can consciously choose our posture for the day ahead. A simple start of work and end of work ritual can act as bookends for your professional life, helping you begin with intention and end with peace. These rituals do not need to be long or complicated. Their power lies in brevity and simplicity. Here is a practical start of work ritual that takes no more than 2 minutes. Before you open your laptop or begin your first task, find a quiet moment to pause. First, take 2 slow, deep breaths, inhaling deeply and exhaling completely. Second, silently or aloud, recite the core verse. Whatever I do today, I will work heartily, as for the Lord and not for men. Third, name one small specific aim for your shift. Today, I will listen well in my meetings. I will focus on performing each task with care. Finally, with that intention set, begin your first task. This small ritual transitions you from your personal life to your professional life with purpose. Equally important is an end-of-work ritual to help you disengage and find closure. When you have completed your last task, resist the urge to immediately rush off to the next thing. Instead, take 1 minute to create a clean break. First, pause and take one final deep breath. Second, briefly review your day and identify one good thing you did or one moment for which you are grateful. A task you completed well. A positive interaction. A problem you solved. Mentally, give thanks for it. Third, set one small hope or intention for the next workday. Finally, physically close your workspace. Shut down your computer. Tidy your desk. Put away your tools. These principles of worshipful work are not abstract ideals. They are intensely practical. They can be applied in any profession. To illustrate, consider two professionals, a freelance video creator, a hospital nurse. Both have unique pressures, skills, forms of service. Yet the same reframes and rituals bring meaning. It's not the job title, but the worker's posture. Before turning on her camera, she breathes. She recites Colossians 3:23. She sets a purpose-driven goal. Today, I will create one scene that helps one person feel understood and less alone. During editing, she adopts a craftsmanship mindset, adjusting the sound, adjusting the color, to create a calm, focused learning experience. She adds a small margin for care. Helpful links in the description. End-of-day ritual. She reviews one shot she's proud of. She notes a technique to try tomorrow. She closes her editing software with gratitude. Her work becomes teaching and encouragement. She works a demanding 12-hour shift in a busy ward. The work is physically and emotionally draining. Start of shift. During handover, she finds a quiet corner. She takes a deep breath. She silently prays the verse. She sets her aim. Today, I will offer gentle and kind care. Throughout the shift, she takes a small margin for care. She holds a nervous patient's hand. She explains a procedure again to an anxious family member. Craftsmanship, precise, skillful administration of medications and treatments. End of shift. She pauses in her car. She reviews a small moment, a patient's grateful smile. She gives thanks and drives home to rest. Her work becomes a ministry of healing and compassion. The work is transformed. The creator is no longer just chasing algorithms. She is a digital mentor. Even with the best intentions, reframes, rituals, there will inevitably be days when work feels heavy. Some days are just plain hard. You will feel bored by monotonous tasks, frustrated by obstacles, tired and uninspired. Motivation can feel like a distant memory, and working heartily can seem like an impossible standard. Have a simple, in-the-moment tactic for these doldrums. When your internal motivation wanes, shift your focus outward and remember who you're ultimately serving. When your energy flags or boredom sets in, pause and silently repeat, I am doing this for God. I am doing this for people. This mantra is a reset button. It lifts your gaze from the tediousness and reconnects you to purpose and impact. Mundane tasks, when traced to their end, serve another human being. Filling out a form correctly ensures someone gets services they need. Cleaning a floor creates a safe, hygienic space for others. Carefully packing a box ensures an item arrives undamaged for a waiting customer. Tying your task to its human impact can breathe new life into it. Another tactic: introduce a small, deliberate change to your routine. The brain notices novelty. Even a tiny shift can break boredom. When we consistently practice these reframes and rituals, something profound begins to shift. Not just in our workday, but in our entire life. Viewing work as worship cultivates a steady and resilient sense of dignity, not dependent on the prestige of our job or the size of our salary. It affirms that all honest labor matters, because all of it can be an offering to God. It finds value in the small acts of service, even the often unseen ones that make up our days. This perspective builds a life where time is not simply spent or wasted, but intentionally offered for a higher purpose, weaving a thread of the sacred through the ordinary. When we truly begin to work as an act of worship, our motivations are purified. We are gradually liberated from the exhausting, endless chase for human praise or financial reward as our primary goal. These things may have their place, but they no longer define our success or our sense of self-worth. We begin to serve from love and gratitude, not from fear or ego. We do our best work, not just when the boss is watching, but in the quiet moments when no one is. Our integrity becomes non-negotiable because our true audience is always present. This reorientation brings a deep, abiding peace the world's fluctuating opinions can never provide. This approach to labor is profoundly sustainable. Burnout often signals a spirit running on empty, fueled only by caffeine or by external validation. Working as worship draws from a deeper, renewable wellspring of motivation. It gives reason to persevere with grace and patience, even when the work is difficult and rewards are few. It grounds our efforts in love for God and love for our neighbor, a more enduring fuel than ambition alone. This perspective makes our work worthy of our soul, transforming it from depletion into spiritual vitality. You'll know you're moving right when you notice practical signs, feeling less dragged down and more engaged with daily tasks. Discovering small, unexpected joys in simple acts of care and in craftsmanship. Sleeping better at night. Carrying quiet satisfaction that your day was meaningful. Your work does not have to be a source of weariness and dissatisfaction. It can be a vibrant, life-giving, and meaningful part of your existence. The choice between a transactional and a worshipful approach to labor is not determined by your circumstances, but by your perspective and your habits. The path forward is not a complex, multi-year plan, but a series of small, intentional steps. By making room for care, adopting the mindset of a craftsperson, setting purpose-driven goals, framing your day with simple rituals, you now have the tools to begin this journey. The 3 reframes provide the why and the how for elevating your work. The daily ritual provides the anchor to make it stick. The vision is clear. Every hour of labor has dignity. Every task can be an act of love. So, here is your final, simple call to action. Don't just let this be another interesting idea that you read and forget. Put it into practice. Tomorrow morning, before you begin your work, try the start of work ritual. It will take you less than 2 minutes. Find a quiet moment. Take a deep breath. Read the verse. Whatever you do, work heartily, as for the Lord. Set one simple, positive aim for your day, and then begin. See how this small act changes the texture of your morning. Notice if it brings a new sense of calm. Notice if it brings a new sense of focus. Notice if it brings a new sense of purpose to your first few tasks. Then, if you feel so moved, tell someone about your experience. Share what you felt or what you noticed. The journey of transforming your work begins with a single step, taken with intention. Take that step tomorrow. Do the work heartily. Do it as for the Lord. You may just find a depth of meaning and dignity in your daily tasks that you never thought possible.